Diddy has recently broken his silence concerning a released tape featuring Cassie, where he admits his presence and acknowledges that his actions in the tape were indefensible. He has expressed his remorse, but for many, his apology falls short. To some, Diddy is irredeemable, arguing that there's no justification for his actions. Soon, we'll see a tape where Diddy attempts to offer excuses.
So difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. Sometimes you gotta do that. I was fucked up. I hit rock bottom. But I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it, I'm disgusted now. I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy, and go into rehab. Had to ask God for His mercy and grace. I'm so sorry. But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day. I'm not asking for forgiveness. Truly sorry.
However, these justifications are contradicted by more lies, which can be demonstrated through inconsistencies in statements previously made by his representatives and attorneys. This man is apologizing merely because he was exposed, and his apology comes too late. More than an apology is necessary. Jail time is warranted. His actions towards this woman were not only deplorable, but also suggest a pattern. If he could do this so easily, what else could be true? This behavior is disgusting, despicable, and evil, and if someone can commit such acts, it's likely not isolated. Sean Combs, your karma awaits. Moreover, it's appalling how he's been manipulating his public image. In recent weeks, he's portrayed himself as a family man on his social media, professing his love for his queen and showcasing his children. This display seems to be a desperate attempt to sway public perception, especially when considering his claims against Cassie, accusing her of blackmail and dishonesty for financial gain through book deals. These accusations appear even more questionable considering how swiftly he settled the matter. We will delve into his statements shortly, but first, let's watch his latest video where he attempts to clear his name. Let us all take a moment to consider this statement, purportedly coming directly from him. I think this was mentioned in B. It's so hard to ponder the darkest times of your life, yet sometimes you must. I was a mess. I hit rock bottom. However, I offer no excuses. My behavior in that video is indefensible. I take full responsibility for my actions depicted in the video. I was appalled then, and I remain appalled now. Consequently, I sought professional help, underwent therapy, and entered rehab. I have pleaded for God's mercy and grace. I am profoundly sorry, and I am dedicated to becoming a better man every day. I am not seeking forgiveness. I am genuinely remorseful. I don't know whose idea it was to handle it this way. This doesn't benefit you at all. For the past 6 months, you've been fervently denying these offensive and outrageous allegations. Mr. Combs has faced persistent demands from Cassie for $30 million under the threat of publishing a damaging book about their relationship, which he has unequivocally rejected as blatant blackmail. Despite her retracting her initial threat, Ms. Ventura has now resorted to filing a lawsuit filled with baseless and outrageous lies, aiming to tarnish Mr. Combs' reputation and secure a financial windfall. And she received that payout remarkably quickly, didn't she? Because you've been trying to pay off everyone to avoid facing up to your actions, even though you've purportedly been doing all this rehabilitative work. When did that work start? As Christopher Melt aptly puts it, because this is your statement from November 2023 through your lawyers. Just to be clear, a decision to settle a lawsuit, especially in 2023, is by no means an admission of wrongdoing. Mr. Combs' decision to settle does not undermine his flat denial of the claims. He is satisfied with the mutual settlement and wishes her the best. Diddy had the video for 8 years and denied this incident, and now he's expressing remorse. If he was in therapy in November 2023, then why did he deny it? The apology seems another fabrication. I sought professional help, entered therapy, and prayed for God's mercy. I'm so sorry. It appears he must have done all this over a weekend. Facts. This is it. You're finished. I'm shocked you even posted this, considering you've controlled situations for so long that you probably think you'll get away with this too. You fail to realize that this evidence is the final nail in your coffin. I fully expect that worse things have occurred, and no one will stand up to defend you now. The way you treated Cassie in that video is abhorrent. No one should be treated that way, and no excuse can justify your actions. I now believe everything Cassie has said, and I hope she is speaking to the authorities. The sad reality is that the time frame has passed for the video that has been circulating online, depicting, we find these images disturbing and difficult to watch. If the conduct depicted in 2016, unfortunately, we have been unable to charge the conduct because it is beyond our timeline where a crime of this nature could be prosecuted. As of today, law enforcement has not presented a case related to the attack in the video, but we encourage anyone who has experienced similar behavior with Diddy to report it to law enforcement or reach out to the Bureau of Services at the LA County District Attorney's Office. This statement was released yesterday, I believe. Sorry, actually, it was Friday. This opens up so many more concerning thoughts because now he's owned it, which he had to do because it's clearly him in the video. He could have remained silent and let his lawyers handle it, but this was a poison pill, if you will. You're done. Who would defend someone who does that to a woman? Now that you're changing your story, it only makes you look more guilty. You're a scoundrel, and you've been exploiting your family and your daughter to craft this image of love. You only started calling yourself love when you realized the walls were closing in. It's despicable that you're putting your child in the crossfire right now, using her as a shield. You're a monster, and I truly feel bad for your kid. You are an absolutely deplorable, monstrous individual, and I sincerely doubt the sincerity of your work. Had you truly engaged in reflection and correction, you wouldn't have so callously thrown Cassie under the bus with those statements. If you were genuine, you would have come clean earlier. But of course, you didn't. It's only the tip of the iceberg with you. 50 Cent? Really? Who is advising him? That was a terrible move. He seems to think he's untouchable, but the online reactions suggest otherwise. All these actions are typical of manipulators. Here comes Diddy, talking about reflecting on his darkest times, which, by the way, lasted decades. Just stop. No one is buying this. Dr. Scholl tweeted that he deserves to be imprisoned for his actions. Forgiveness does not replace accountability. Any apology should be directed at Cassie and every woman he's wronged. This apology reeks of an attempt to appease the public, not the women he's hurt. It's complete nonsense. A small crowd may offer forgiveness because he's invoked God, but you cannot use religion to magically erase your wrongs and just move on. I'm not here to judge anyone's religious beliefs, but it's absolutely negative for religion. What about Cassie? If he's genuinely attempting to make amends, that's one thing, but it's hard to believe. Maybe Diddy's apology is sincere. Only God knows. I hope he's apologized to Cassie. It sickens me. And if you're deeply rooted in religious values, it should sicken you too. This man is exploiting faith. I don't believe for a second that he's found true redemption. Just months ago, he called her a liar and a blackmailer, which she clearly wasn't. He allegedly bought a damning tape for $50,000 at the Intercontinental Hotel, which thankfully no longer exists. The hotel knew what was on the tape, saw everything, and still let him buy it. It's shocking, sad, and frightening. Now we know for sure he's a monster. He's admitted it, and I'm glad. We must explore all legal avenues. This week, we'll discuss this with Christopher MCH and other experts. Please tune in tomorrow. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for alerts. What can still be done? What does this mean? Who leaked the tape? There's so much more to uncover about this tape because it's the final nail in his coffin. He's finished. He can apologize and lean on God all he wants, but that tape will never fade from memory. We caught him. We were waiting for proof, and though he provided none, the evidence is now pouring in. I suspect many more tapes will surface, forcing him to finally acknowledge his actions. This isn't going to be over anytime soon. What do you think? Are you surprised? Do you accept his apology? Does it annoy you too that he's trying to use God as a scapegoat to escape? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We have much more coming. I'm so glad we're back together, and we're just getting started. Subscribe, like, share, and leave your thoughts in the comments section.